What happens next? Chris, you mentioned this earlier that we had kind of an idea about potential successors, who we then also struck and eliminated. Uh, so that's just not only is it a power vacuum, it's like a 10 layers deep power vacuum.
There are people who are saying, "Oh, they want a monarchy," but it's not like the, Shah left on particularly good terms, that everyone was like, "Oh, things were so much better under the Shah," right? And it's a young country. Most people don't remember the Shah's times. So, I think that he's more of an Ahmed Chalabi kind of, guy. He hasn't been in his own country since the '70s. I can't imagine that he's going to have any kinda legitimacy. What are we gonna just parachute the guy in there? I think that's, hey, he speaks good English and we can get a hold of him in Tarangelis. So, let's just promote this guy as the solution, the savior. I think it's very unlikely that that's going to happen. I think you're going to most likely wind up with some kind of unsavory group of characters that is able to be ruthless enough to come to power. And let's even remember 1979, the Ayatollah kind of did a bait and switch. It wasn't like everybody's like, we want a totalitarian clerical state. I mean, a lot of people were communists, they were Democrat, they were whatever. And he, at least in the 6 months before he came to power, was saying, oh, yes, we're going to, do things democratically, etc. And the first government even had like a Democratic prime minister, and he lost his power over the embassy takeover. But there's always been different currents in the Iranian government and in the people for what they're looking for, but I don't think monarchy's it. I think the most ruthless people that are willing to, you know, do whatever it takes to come to power are the ones that are probably going to wind up with power. And right now, you have seen the protesters willing to protest, but they don't have any weapons. They don't have any, control. Maybe you get like the Bazari class, which are like the merchant people that run a lot of the economy to be an intermediary, but it's probably going to be somebody from the security state that winds up kind of controlling whatever it is there is to control. And I, I wouldn't say that there isn't the possibility that there are going to be some parts breaking off or turmoil in some of the further regions, like the Arab area that is against Iraq, or the people down in Sistan and Baluchistan, the Baluch, who don't really want to be there either. Maybe have a greater Baluchistan with the Pakistanis, or join with Afghanistan.